All right, and next up we have Matt Brosinski representing Blanchard's Coffee in Richmond, Virginia. Big round of applause, please.
Good to see you. Hi. Hi. It's good to see you. Awesome. How's everyone doing? Comfortable? Awesome. Head judge ready? Awesome. Get started in just a moment. Time. Hello, judges. My name is Matt Brosinski, and I'm here with Blanchard's Coffee out of Richmond, Virginia. I'd love to begin by taking a moment to express how thankful I am for your time today. And over the next few moments, I hope to honor and respect your time by serving you an exceptional cup of coffee that demonstrates how excellence and passion can create a cup that pushes the limits of coffee quality. Now, this cup is informed by my personal journey through the coffee industry. Coffee has been my passion, as well as my job, for the majority of my professional career. And over that time, I've held a number of jobs, including barista work, equipment tech, and most recently, coffee roasting. Now, each of these roles have informed how I see and interact with coffee in profound ways. These that have also influenced how I'll be brewing your coffee today. Now, judges, I'd love to tell you a little bit more about what you can expect to experience in the cup. And I'll describe each category in the order it appears on your score sheet. To make this process of writing everything down as easy as possible, I provided each of you the information cards with all the cup descriptions, how it being cold, as well as some of the more technical information that we'll be covering later on. There's one for you there, head judge. While I do this, I'll begin brewing. So beginning with the aroma. The aroma of this coffee is intense, beginning with florals like jasmine and hibiscus, followed by red berries like raspberry and strawberry. Those floral and red fruit aromas will carry into the flavor. And while the cup is hot, they'll present as strawberry and hibiscus tea. When warm, the flavor is a dynamic mix of raspberry, red currant, and limeade. Now, as the coffee cools, the flavors become pomegranate, hibiscus tea, and grape candy. Now, the aftertaste of this coffee is elegant, and when hot, you will taste raspberry and Earl Grey tea. When warm, it will turn to red wine and 70% dark chocolate. As the coffee cools, the red wine and dark chocolate will stay present, with the addition of dried cranberry. The acidity of this coffee is of medium-high intensity and extraordinarily complex, demonstrating both malic and citric acidities. And while hot, this will be expressed as lime and cotton candy grapes. When the coffee becomes warm, the acidity reminds me of Rainier cherry and orange wine. And when the coffee cools, that Rainier cherries will settle into dark cherry with strawberry. The body of this coffee is round and coating, and when hot, the texture will be tea-like. As it becomes warm, the body becomes silky. Cooling to be like light juice. Now this coffee stays well balanced from hot to cool with complex berry and floral aromas carrying into the flavor, with these flavors being backed up by an intense sweetness and dynamic acidity that elevates the cup. All of this with a satisfying tactile experience that leads into a sweet and complementary aftertaste that will lead you back in for another sip. Now as we move through the rest of our time, I'll explain and give context for how each of these flavors is achieved via the growing, processing, and importantly, the brewing. Now judges, I'd like to introduce the coffee you'll be enjoying. I'm super excited to be brewing for you a Gesha coffee produced by Jameson Savage at Finca de Bora, located at 1,900 meters above sea level on the mountain of Volcan Baru in Panama. This high elevation, combined with the fog and natural shade of the native rainforest, leads to cool evening temperatures that will extend the fruit's ripening time, contributing to your coffee's complex malic and citric acidities. Your coffee was harvested when the cherries were perfectly ripe, measuring at a sugar content of 21 to 24 on the Brix meter. This will provide your cup with a pronounced sweetness. Now from here, the ripest cherries were placed into a hermetically sealed tank for over 100 hours. Now over this time, an intracellular fermentation begins to take place within the cherries, creating CO2 that fills the tank, creating a natural anaerobic environment. During this fermentation, the coffee seeds are absorbing high fruit notes and intense aromatic qualities from the flesh of the cherry. It's through this extended anaerobic fermentation the coffee gains its intense aroma and elevated acidity. Finca de Bora refers to this process as symbiosis, a reference to the balanced relationship between the flavors imparted from the variety and growing conditions and the characteristics that were elevated from their creative approach to processing. But as a brewer, working with such a special coffee is a humbling experience. And this coffee pushed me to leave no variable unexplored and challenge my understanding of how coffee can be brewed. But through hard work and reverence for the effort put in to produce your coffee, I created a recipe that is special and unique. You can go ahead and pull your coffee card out to the second position, and we'll review some of these specs. My brew ratio is 1 to 15, expressed as 1 to 14, 1 to 15, 14 grams of coffee, and 210 grams of water. I brewed your coffee on the Fellow Stag X brewer. I use this brewer for its narrow, flat bottom. This narrow, flat bottom creates a narrow, shallow flatbed that will make it easier to extract each coffee particle, creating more balance and sweetness. The brewer's 10-hole design creates a fast flow rate that will contribute to the intensity and quality of acidity. The coffee is ground medium fine, similar to what is commonly used for cupping. This grind setting is critical to achieving your coffee's ideal TDS of 1.5. The particle distribution of this grind size also leads to a very select amount of undissolved coffee particles to be discharged through the filter. This will help result in that light juice tactile experience. Now, while I was creating this recipe, I came to a realization. The coffee is only 1/15 of the story of my recipe. 98.5% of the cup I'm about to serve you is water. And through this revelation, I began to explore my brewing water to see how it too could contribute to the cup quality. Through this journey, I developed 2 unique water recipes. Each water has a total hardness of 100 parts per million, with the first water containing only magnesium. The second will contain only calcium. Each mineral will bind to different aspects of the cup, with the magnesium binding the characteristics that will contribute to the complex fruit acidity, while the calcium works to round out the cup, contributing to balance and structure. If you'll pull your cards out to the third position, I brewed your coffee in 3 pours with 40-second intervals, beginning with a 40-gram bloom, followed by 2 85-gram pours, the first 2 pours, we're done with that magnesium water at 99 degrees Celsius. That hot water will help elevate the complexity of the cup. And for the final pour, I use calcium water at 93 degrees Celsius. That lower water temperature used here will help the brew to not over-extract, ensuring the brew stays sweet well into the aftertaste. And I'm super excited for you to finally experience this coffee. And to make the experience as amazing as possible, my friend Ben and I designed a set of cups just for this experience. Your cups have lids that will capture and elevate your coffee's aroma, that will enable you to swirl your coffee as you drink, similarly to how you'd enjoy wine. And when I remove your cup's lids, you can begin to evaluate the aroma. To evaluate all other categories, you'll use just the cup. Feel free to bring these with you into the deliberation room. That's my time.
And that was Matt Brosinski, everybody. Matt, come and join me over here.
Hi.
Hey.
How's it going?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Doing really well, yeah, thank you.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about that routine. How did you feel? You know,
Good.
you're done now. It's amazing.
Yeah, definitely a weight off my shoulders having it done, but it was a lot of fun.
You can see you taking a few deep breaths there, just trying to recenter yourself.
Right.
Yeah. How do you? I mean, is there anything you want to say to anybody that's supporting you back home or just here on the stage as well?
Totally. There's loads of people back in Richmond that I wouldn't be here without, and there's honestly a lot of people here watching the performance that I'm super thankful for that I also wouldn't be here without. It's really humbling to look out and see so many familiar faces that got me here. John, Sarah, Preetha, Alyssa, Mariah. My coworker Elise, all from Blanchard's, thank you so much for being here. David Blanchard back at Richmond, thank you for all of your support over the years. Everyone at Blanchard's has been amazing to get here, and yeah, I'm just so thankful for the coffee community that I've been just thankful to be a part of.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Matt. I mean, you're done now. Take a break, relax. And we're going to move very quickly into our final competitor for today, pretty much in the next few minutes, so stay tuned. And this is Matt, everybody. Big round of applause.
Thank you so much.